All right, Wednesday's vlog here, Culotta and the Prince, wrapping up today's show where the highlights were dominated and the headlines were dominated, of course, by the Jimmy Graham trade from yesterday, a great resource that we have every Wednesday here on Culotta and the Prince's Center of the Week with two-time former NFLPA president Kevin Mawai. He stopped by yesterday and after further review gave his initial reaction, but spent the hour with us here in the 8 o'clock hour and really kind of wrapped up the business side of it. Still on board for what the Saints did yesterday as far as addition plus subtraction, really, and getting rid of
it's a great opportunity for them to accumulate draft picks. You get one draft pick for this year, but there's a first rounder that you can trade away for multiple mid-round draft picks. You save yourself. I think the difference in the numbers is like $4 million on the cap between Jimmy Graham and Unger and what he just signed for. So it was a smart business move. I think it was a smart move from a football standpoint, in that you got a player whose longevity has a tendency to statistically be better than what Jimmy Graham's is.
Max Unger, a 28-year-old two-time Pro Bowler already. A little bit about your point of view of him as a player. He played your position.
Yeah, I think he's a good player, solid player. A lot of people are worried about the 6 games he missed in 2014, but he came back and played an entire postseason, including the Super Bowl. Guys can get nicked and banged up, but can you come back and recover? And I think he's got that ability to do that. He's a great player. He's already been to 2 Pro Bowls in his first 6 years. He's just now getting to his prime. I think the upside's a lot better than what people would think.
Prince, you're a season ticket holder, a New Orleans Saints fan. I guess what's your thoughts on the Graham move as far as getting Unger in the first-round pick in return?
Well, they need more players. They need better players. They need more better players. Jimmy Graham, as productive as he was, I don't know that you lock up everything just to protect him. I think you have to. The only person on that roster you have to protect is 9. And by bringing in Unger, you got a center who's going to protect 9. We talked about it last year when Darren Sproles left. Oh, how are you going to replace that production? Well, statistically, it was a more productive offense in 14 than it was in 13. I have all the faith in the world that they'll find people offensively who can perform. I like the fact that they were able to get additional high draft picks. I'd like to see them use those 3 picks they have in the top 45 picks in the draft to solidify the offensive line and the defense. If they solidify the offensive line and the defense, that'll get them back to being championship caliber. And look, in the NFC, you have to have a strong defense. You have to have a strong offensive line because that's the only way that you're going to win. When they won the Super Bowl, they had a good defense and they had a dominant offensive line. All 5 of those guys were Pro Bowlers that year. Fix your offensive line. Kevin's staring at me, agreeing with me. But fix your offensive line. You got a 6-foot quarterback. You got a 6-foot quarterback. If they're gonna send pressure right up the middle, which they did last year, and they weren't able to fix, go out and get the best center that you possibly can. I love the addition of Unger. Now, fix your defense. Continue helping the offensive line, you'll be back where you were.
Picks 13, 31, and 44 in next month's draft. This is really the way that this league is built to reboot.
Yeah, you rebuild your team in the draft, and the teams that can accumulate draft picks every year, not the first rounders, but the 3rd through 5th rounders, teams that can find diamonds in those are the teams that end up having, a better roster, win more consistently, and that's hopefully, I think that's what the goal would be for the Saints.
And one of the reasons why I'm excited about what the Saints could do in the draft is that they brought in Jeff Ireland, who was the general manager over in Miami for the last couple of years, and he's going to be involved in some of the personnel things. If you look at Miami the last couple of years, draft-wise, they've drafted very well. I like I like the potential that they have with Ireland coming in with the 3 picks that they have early in this draft.
And Ireland, a Parcells guy who you're very familiar with.
Yeah, Parcells and him worked well together in Miami. Parcells is a guy. He goes, if I'm going to make the dinner, I want to buy the groceries. So you bring in a personnel guy to work closely with the finance guy to work the cap. But it don't matter what the cap number is if you're not getting the right players and spending that money on, then you're never going to be successful.
Every Wednesday, Culotta and the Prince, 7 to 9 a.m. for the entire 8 o'clock hour. Kevin Mawai joins us for Center of the Week. You can catch the podcast online, 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter. Hop on the fan page. Hop on at 1045ESPN.com and vote on making the cut. The 5 finalists are there. See who's going to walk away with the diamond engagement ring giveaway from Cut Fine Jewelers. And happy birthday, Kirkland Mawai. We're back with you tomorrow morning.